Thank you, Marjorie. So I'm glad to be here. I want to thank Laura for this opportunity. I can stand here and share Chinese tea culture. Actually, today the topic is Chinese tea culture and tea art. With everybody, lovely ladies here. See, it's a very big topic to talk about tea. China is the biggest country to consume tea in the world. Biggest is China, and then Indonesia, and then Kenya. That's the first three countries produce the most tea. And okay, sorry. Tea in China, we call it cha. This is Chinese calligraphy, so cha dao. And today I'm focusing on this dao, which means it's the method to drink tea and prepare tea. It's a very big topic, and it can be one semester course for only tea culture. So we have only half an hour. I'm gonna only give the brief introduction for Chinese tea culture. Chinese people started drinking tea about 5,000 years ago from the Shendong Emperor. Actually, that's when the tea, scientifically they say it's from that time, about like 2737 BC, before century. And it gradually developed, and up to 1,500 years ago in Tang Dynasty in China, it becomes quite popular and into regular people's life, and becomes a self-cultivation method. Like Chinese people drink tea like for so many years, and gradually they build up their own experience. Chinese tea culture is different from European tea culture, like British tea. Everybody knows, more familiar with that. And it's also different from Japanese tea. In preparation, taste, occasion, when to consume tea, they're all different. But Chinese people do drink tea in casual and formal occasions. Like most casual way you go to Chinese restaurant, you see they have a pot of Chinese tea. You order, and then they pour it for you. And if you go to Chinese people's house, the tea is a basic beverage to treat guests and visitors. And tea culture has a major influence to Chinese traditional culture, especially in literature, art, philosophy, and somehow it's also connected to Buddhism and Taoism and Confucianism. But ordinary people drink tea, they don't think too much. They don't think about the background or like the meaning and the connotation behind the tea. They just drink it as an average beverage, very common beverage every day in daily life. So in China, there's many ways to classify tea, like summer tea or winter tea, different season or the type. But the main way to classify is by the color of the tea water. So there's 6 different, the biggest tea in China. From the most popular to less popular, it's green tea, red tea, oolong tea, which belong to the indigo tea color tea family, and then black tea, yellow tea, and white tea. So green tea is the most popular one, and people consume the most. About 80% of the green tea in the whole world consumed by Chinese people. So that's the green tea, and it occupies 80% of the world trade market. To brew good tea, you need three factors. So tea first, and pot, and water. So we'll do. I will just explain everything. So tea can be very, very expensive, and or like regular people just drink regular tea. It's not everybody can able to afford a tea. Like even the poorest or like the simplest family, they are able to give you a cup of tea in China. But it can be really, really expensive. Like what I heard, the most expensive one was about like $100,000 for 1 pound. So it's more than a house. You can buy a house, for £1, the tea. So there's lots of story behind it. It's interesting. I just don't have a lot of time, but this one I want to tell you. So they say why this tea is so expensive. It's called 大红袍. It's one of the oolong family tea, and it was sold in Hong Kong about like 5 years ago. It was like that expensive. Because the story behind is this tea grows in the special mountain in Wuyi mountain on the high peak. It's very, very tall, and the tea tree grow there. And human being, our people can't go up there, so they have to train monkeys to get the tea leaves down. So that's why it's so expensive, because they have to train. Imagine how many tea leaves, the monkey can get from the peak, So per year they might only produce, a little 1 pound or so, That's what, there's many interesting story behind the tea. Okay, so that's the tea. Like you can see, I brought quite a few different tea here. Because people, if you have interest, you can go to Chinese grocery store or go to TFT, along the riverside. You can see many different Chinese tea over there. So they're not expensive at all. Like this is jasmine tea. Like I bought it like under $5. So, and the green tea, I don't have green tea from here, but I brought some those are green teas, and I'll make some green tea today for you guys to try. And for the herbal tea in Chinese store, I bought this one. It's about like $4. So this is jasmine, like a pure jasmine flower, the buds, the dry ones. And this is a honey suckle. So this is good for your eyes. So those are herbal family. So you can find all these teas. And green tea, of course, you can find anywhere, even in superstore or any like Loblaws, you can find green tea. And Chinese people don't drink. I can't say don't drink, but we don't prefer tea bags. That's not, we call it tea. The lazy way to drink tea. And it's easier, of course, okay, but like the nutrition is still inside, so it's okay, but we prefer to see the leaves. You want to see the shapes, you want to see how the shape, the leaves change, that's part of the joy of tea time. So, and also Chinese people don't drink tea with food, like most of the time. Our tea time, like casual tea time, you just come and sit and drink tea, no food. Need to be provided, but like these days, like a formal occasion, they do have all those little dishes, nuts and fruits, dry fruit and sweet, on the table for you. It's getting more international way, But Chinese traditional tea, you don't need to go with food because the whole day long they drink tea. This is just like that. So that's the tea and pot. So come to this interesting part. Okay. Green tea, we use transparent glassware, teaware, because you want to see the tea leaves, how it's dancing in the water up and down. It's part of the visual pleasant, time to see. So I don't see if you can see, those like glass teapot. I bought this from, I think, Home Depot, somewhere. And everyday life, they just use glasses. They just put tea leaves in and pour water on top, or put water on first and then tea leaves. Different tea requires different way to make it. They say like, the tea, like today I'm gonna, like this Longjing tea, it's one of the famous Chinese green tea. You need to put the leaves first and then water on top. But this one, Biluochun, which is I'm gonna show you. So this one is Biluochun. It's also one of the famous Chinese green tea. You need to put the tea leaves on top of the water. Some tea also require in the middle. You put water and then tea and then water on top. So there's many tricks and skills inside. Okay, and so that's the great glassware. And you try to use the glass, like, without the more decorations. You want to see it's clear. So like this, it's plain, very plain. That's the best to see the tea leaf dancing inside. So that's for the green tea. And very traditional Chinese teaware is this gaiwan. I have to put down this one to show you how to use it. So this is the gaiwan. It's very traditional Chinese teaware, and you can use it because this lid, you can push the leaves away and you can drink it by yourself. And also you can, it's more normally bigger than the normal general teacup. So you can also share it with other people or friends. So like pour it into like a little cup like this, you know. So you have friends around and you can make it and then just share it with other people. So there's two ways to use it. And this is another gaiwan, so there's a filter here, so you don't need you know, to do too much and you can share it. So this is called gaiwan.
Where can we get those?
I think this, I don't even have it. I borrowed this from a friend. You can only buy from maybe Toronto you can find it, or like in China, absolutely. So and then this is the second, you see the glassware gaiwan, and then the pot. This one I brought here is Yixing Zisha Hu, which is very famous. Mine is not very expensive. It can be sky high expensive. Like antiques, and there's artists make sculpture on it. They make all different shape. Yixing is a region of the China, one city. That area has this purplish violet clay. So they use that special clay to make the tea. So use this type of pot, and the tea tastes different. So because eating the mud, the clay has its feature coming to the tea, play a role to the tea. So the pot, so it's this glassware, gaiwan, and pot. Of course, pot, this is Yixing the most famous, but you can have there's lots of other, like a jade-made pot, or porcelain. I see many ladies bring some, beautiful centerpiece pot, the porcelain pot is also popular. And in Chinese restaurant or at home, porcelain pot is always the basic pot to make tea. So that's the pot part. So we covered tea, pot, okay, water. Different tea requires different temperature of the water. Like green tea, you don't use bubbling hot water. That you use 80 degree about. So because green tea is raw tea, you want to keep the nutrition inside. That's it's well known right now, the deniable health benefit, the green tea, right now it's well known. Green tea is like 80 degree to 90 degree. That's like this one is one of the famous top 10 green tea. And on the box I see it's like less than 90 degree. You don't use the hot water. But oolong tea, which is very popular here, like you're in many a tea store in Bayshore or somewhere, the specialty tea store, they make those. I got this somewhere in the States. So this is oolong something like they mix with coconut and pumpkin and stuff like that together. Oolong tea is the indigo tea family, and it's very popular, getting more and more popular. And that's for that you use the hot water for oolong tea. So I only have very basic knowledge about tea, but like tea expert, they can tell you whatever different tea, what temperature they need, or the way how they make it. And most of the Chinese people, they don't know what they're drinking. So they know I'm drinking Bi Luo Chun, the name of the tea. They don't know which family it belongs to. So my husband, I said, do you know before I prepared this, I asked my husband, do you know Bi Luo Chun is green tea or red tea? Said, red tea? Like green tea? No, actually I have no idea. So some people, they drink Bi Luo Chun for the whole life, they don't know it's green tea. I thought, today I'm gonna use, the Tie Guan Yin. It's very famous, one of Chinese tea. I've always had this in my home. I thought it's red tea. And I did some research, it's not red tea. It's oolong tea family. So it's belongs to the indigo tea. Oolong tea is between green tea and red tea. So it's in between. So like that's what I mean. Like people drink and they don't know what they're drinking. So, and I have to show you. I have to put down the microphone again. So here is a Chinese map. So I'll tell you some the cities to make it too easy to know. Like here. Oh, thank you, Mark. So here is the Chinese map. The lady here, so you can see that. Okay. So here is Hong Kong. Here is Shanghai, where the large city, and here's Beijing, and this is Tibet. So that's the basic, layout here. We have three biggest Chinese, the area region. They produce tea, produce different tea. Tea need a certain climate to grow, tea trees. So they need warm and humid, environment. So this area, like close to Hong Kong and Taiwan and Canton province, those areas, they produce oolong tea. So the Kung Fu tea, like I'm going to show later on, so that's from this area, one of the biggest one. And the Shanghai area, it's like we're also on the connected to the Pacific Ocean. That area, they produce a lot of green tea. Most of the Chinese green tea is from this area. And Tibet and this southwest area, this area produce black tea. Like, the black tea.
How come my husband, who's Irish, only likes black tea?
So you need another demonstration for Irish tea. So that's what people here, of course, if they produce more black tea, people living here, they drink more black tea. So it depends. But north part of China, so they drink tea, actually they all get from the south part of China. And also there's lots of import-export to go over the world. I think I need to see my time. I might go over the time for the background. Okay, so I think that's the basic knowledge about Chinese tea culture. Right now I'm going to make green tea. We don't have enough time, so I'm going to make green tea and oolong tea to show you guys. This morning I made some tea already. We might not have time to wait the tea leaf to expand. So you can, and it's still warm. If people want to try, like I can pour it into. This one is the. Let me see. Yeah, this one. This two tea. This is called Taipinghou. It's from the Bangshan Mountain. It's a green tea. So the color is less dark, right? So this is green tea. And this is also Biluozhen, one of the green tea. And this one is oolong tea. Look, this is one of the name, the same as the most expensive one, Da it's this brand. So that's the oolong tea. And this is the jasmine flower tea.
That's what I would try.
Like this one, this jasmine tea I bought, it's already not the pure flower tea. They mix with green tea already. So it's second processed tea. And this is the chrysanthemum. Am I pronouncing it chrysanthemum? Yeah.
Chrysanthemum.
Yeah, chrysanthemum. I made it. You know the tea, the flower, see the flower? So that's that tea. It's very common in Chinese restaurant and family, and in summertime it's like reduce your heat and detoxify. There's many health benefits from chrysanthemum tea. I made this one from here. I bought the chrysanthemum in fall, and you only can make tea use the white one, the pure white flower, and dry it, and then I made this by myself. So that's what I made. If you can help, you can let me try some of those tea.
Try some of this?
Yeah, so it's not hot anymore because I made it at home. So right here I'm gonna demonstrate. I'm gonna spill it all over the place. Sorry. I just want to And you see the leaves,
Oolong.
it's like a roll of the branch.
It's written O-O-L-O-N. L-O-N. It's a blood.
So okay, I'm gonna make green tea right now. The formal way to make tea, you always warm up the tea ware first. But everyday life you don't do that. You just directly put the water in. But how you warm up the water is like you just put the hot water in the container, and then you just warm up it. We have these tools, like those tweezer thing, because it's gonna burn your hands. So you just so that's what it is, and it's warm up already. And you just put the tea, like this one, I'm gonna make, it's the beetle, so this one requires water first, and tea leaves later. Thank you so much. So I put the water first, and those tea set can be very expensive too. They make it like handmade or like a carved. So that's a special teaspoon to get the tea from the bag or bowl. So this tea is a pearl size, like it's like a round, and you put it in. That's it. Normally you need 1 minute to 2 minutes to let it sit and get the flavor, and you are ready to drink. But if you want stronger, of course you can wait longer time. And Chinese people normally they refill tea like 5 to 8 times and until the taste is all gone. Some people they use this one, like if you go to work and then you have this whole bottle the whole day, it's refill, something like that. So you see this one, it's like a little ball in it, and the expanding, this is the expanded. So this is expanded. See?
How long has this been in a
Like this one, I think, because from the pearl size, like this, to that, you need at least 5 minutes to fully expand it. But normally green tea, like 1 minute or 2 minutes, is ready to drink. So that's the, you see, it's still not expanding yet. So that's the green tea, how you drink it. Herbal tea is similar way, like yellow tea and white tea, the similar way to this. I should let you know. Okay, so tea, like different color tea, it's because the fermentation time is different. So green tea is 100% not fermented, and the second is yellow tea, and then white tea, and then oolong tea is about like 30 to 60% fermented. Red tea is about like a 50 to 70%, and black tea is thoroughly almost 90%, even 100% fermented. It takes many days to do that, and quite a complicated procedure: steam and baking and dry it. And they make black tea into the pie shape compressed, like those teas. So okay, so this is green tea, and the herbal tea is the same way how you make it, like this. This is everyday, it's just simple, water and tea leaf, and then drink it and refill. That's all. So any questions?
How many years can you keep Chinese tea in one of those metal containers? That was a long time ago.
Yes. So these days, for this one, they do put, the expiration date, like 1 to 2 years, something like that. I'll tell you the truth, Chinese people keep it forever. And like my mom has of tea like more than 10 years, we still drink it. Tea doesn't go bad.
I've got 2 containers, I have not gone through them.
So, but you see like old tea, like green tea, you want to drink it fresh. Like this year, like fresher is better, like green tea, not other tea. Like a black tea, you can store longer time. White tea, they have like when it stay longer time, it can be Chinese medicine. It treats many different disease. So like different tea has also different years, you know, to keep it. And any other questions?
I understand green tea is good for the digestion.
I have to tell you this. So okay, so green tea has the factor, it's an antioxidant. Ingredients is called ECCG, something like that. So it's good for your not only digestion system, it's good to prevent cancer, heart disease, cardiovascular disease, rheumatoid arthritis, tooth decay, and it's anti-aging. So lots of benefits. Many people start switching their tea drinker. They switch their black tea or red tea to green tea these days. It's getting more and more popular. Yes. Oh, sorry.
Is there a particular type of tea that is really beneficial for women who are expecting babies?
Oh, that's a question. Actually, I don't have a firm answer. But I know like you drink green tea is nothing harmful to the pregnant people. Yeah.
What type did you drink when you were expecting?
Tell the truth, I'm not a green tea drinker. Culture, and for this presentation I reviewed much more, but I'm not a regular, it's a family habit. My parents, they're not very, they're not regular tea drinker. So, but we always have tea. Like I'm more like a social tea drinker.
You're not a closet drinker.
But from now on, I'm going to drink more green tea for sure.
It's just about up.
Okay.
2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay. So for the Wulong ceremony, so we don't have time, eh? So we don't have time for the Wulong tea ceremony. So just question. Wulong tea ceremony, I can briefly tell you. So you warm up the teapot, like look at the set. You can stand up and see this set. It's very formal. People burn the incense in the tea house for the formal occasion, and the person who presented, they have to do the whole procedure. It takes at least 10 minutes to warm up the tea and step by step, and then they always, it's part of the courtesy, and tea spirit, it's like a clearness, truthfulness, respect, and the spiritual detox, something like this. That's why you don't add milk and sugar in it. You want the original taste of the tea. And so you put the tea there, and then after the demonstration, and the person who served it can be really politely put it in front of you, and the people can sit in front of you, and it's really, really formal demonstration. Like we call that Wulong tea ceremony. So I think that's it. I'm sorry I'm going over the time.
Thank you, Shanti. But I'm just delighted to introduce our featured